Have you ever wondered why the Israel-Hamas conflict seems to be an endless cycle of violence and retaliation? To understand this, we need to delve into the roots of the conflict. It all began in earnest in 2005 when Israel withdrew from Gaza, a strategic move that was seen as a step towards peace. But the vacuum created by this withdrawal was quickly filled by Hamas, a group that rose to power in 2006. This was the same year an Israeli soldier, Gilad Shalit, was captured, escalating tensions further. The subsequent year, Hamas took control over Gaza. This shift in power dynamics was a turning point in the conflict. Israel responded with military offensives in 2008 and again in 2014. These historical events have shaped the landscape of the conflict we see today. It's important to recognize that this is not a black and white issue. The struggle has evolved, shifting from a fight against terrorism to a battle for control over the Gaza land. As we explore more in the upcoming scenes, remember this: the conflict is no longer a simple fight against terrorism, but a struggle for control over the Gaza land. The conflict has escalated in recent years, with both sides launching attacks that have resulted in tragic loss of life. Let's take a closer look at these recent escalations, starting from the Palestinian protests in 2018. These demonstrations were not simply expressions of discontent, they were born out of years of frustration and desperation, an outcry against the conditions in Gaza. Fast forward to May 2021, a month of intense conflict. This period saw a surge in violence, with rockets raining down on Israel from Gaza and Israel responding with airstrikes. The repercussions of these attacks were devastating, with many innocent lives lost and infrastructures decimated. This was a stark reminder of how quickly tensions can escalate and how destructive the consequences can be. And the situation didn't end there. In August 2022, the region witnessed major flare-ups between Israel and Palestinians in Gaza. The militant Islamic Jihad group fired rockets into Israel, prompting Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. The result was a tragic loss of life, with about 30 Palestinians perishing in the chaos. This escalation, like many before it, was not an isolated incident. It's part of a larger, complex cycle of provocation and retaliation, a cycle that seems to have no end in sight. The airstrikes on Gaza and the rockets fired into Israel are symptomatic of a deeper issue, a conflict entrenched in the very heart of these communities. The death toll in Gaza is rising, and tensions are escalating over Jewish visitors at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the holiest sites in Islam, has been a focal point of contention, a symbol of the broader conflict between Israel and Palestine. It's clear that the issues at hand aren't merely territorial, they're deeply cultural, religious, and historical. As long as these underlying issues remain unaddressed, the potential for further escalation remains alarmingly high. The impact of the conflict extends beyond the political and military spheres, causing significant humanitarian issues. The Israeli strikes on Gaza are not just a military strategy, but they're also causing a severe humanitarian crisis. Schools, considered safe havens for children, are no longer immune. They have become the targets of these strikes, leading to a tragic loss of young, innocent lives. The Hamas Health Ministry reports that at least 50 people were killed in a single bombing of a United Nations school. These were not soldiers or combatants, they were students, children who were supposed to be safe within the walls of their school. This is the grim reality of the conflict, where the battlegrounds are not just open fields or military bases, but classrooms and playgrounds. The human cost of the conflict is immense, with dozens of innocent lives lost in the hostilities. Each life lost is a stark reminder of the urgent need for peace and resolution. The echoes of their lost laughter, their unfulfilled dreams, and their stolen futures reverberate, urging us to remember the true cost of this conflict. The Israel-Hamas conflict is a complex issue that affects not just the people directly involved, but the entire world. This is not just a story of political posturing or territorial disputes, but a narrative of human lives, of homes and futures hanging in the balance. The stakes are high and the repercussions are felt far beyond the borders of Israel and Gaza. In a world that is more interconnected than ever, what happens in one corner can echo in another. This is why it is crucial for us to stay informed, to delve beyond the headlines and understand the historical context, the key players, the motivations and consequences. To navigate the torrents of information and misinformation, we need to equip ourselves with knowledge and empathy. But to be informed is only half the battle. We need to translate knowledge into action. Be it through peaceful dialogue or diplomatic pressure, every effort counts. We need to champion the cause of peace, of justice, of humanity. We need to foster conversations that challenge narratives, that seek solutions rather than deepen divisions. Stay informed, stay involved. The resolution of the Israel-Hamas conflict depends on the collective efforts of us all.